Yeah, right. I'm gonna call this video something like getting negative, something like that, right? But it's not gonna be about, when I call it getting negative, it's not gonna be about being a miserable git, right? It's got nothing to do with that. Getting negative, it's gonna be about negative painting. Right, if I wanted to do one about being a miserable git, I'd get my stepdad to come and do it. Because my stepdad, as my stepbrother will tell you, he's always moaning at me and my stepbrother doofus. He's always having a go at us, telling us off for getting the ironing board in the pond and pretending to be surfing and that. And he's just, we're only having a laugh. Put the ironing board in pond and have a little surf in garden pond. Right, there's no wrong with that. But he's always negative about it, you see. So, when I call my video getting negative, it's not about being a miserable git. It's about this, look, negative painting. So I'm coming in there, look, and I'm just trying to bring these trees out a little bit more by negative painting. There we are, look. And I'll just blend that in with my finger. There. And it's just boosted that tree out a little bit more. Let me just try, just on this bit here, slightly brighter colour for that one little bit, but try and get a bit of, there, that don't look bad, does it? And then sort of kind of sweep that down with some slightly bright, it's a bit of like grass sweeping down here, and that bit there. There, that's alright, isn't it? Knocking me camera everywhere. Right, so that's that bit. Right, so a little, right, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. There's a little bit round here. A little bit round this bush here, look. So pop in a bit there, and a bit there. Now like that. And then soften it with my finger. There. And then that bush there. And get a nice cream colour. Nice creamy colour for that bush. So I'll have a bit of yellow, a bit of red. Should give me a nice creamy colour. I've got like a dirty red, so it's not going to come out bright orange. In fact, it's coming out green. There, just mixing a creamy colour, so like a bit of yellow, a bit of red. And you'll either get, depending on what yellow, if you get an orange, add a bit of Bon Umber into it. All I'm getting is green. So right, I'm here all day now, it's just bright green I'm getting. It's irritating me now. Right, let's get loads and loads of this Bon Umber, loads and loads of yellow. And it's finally not green. There. So let's pop that in. Pop that in there like that. There, and just soften that at the bottom and all. There, that's that. Right, back into my greens now. Nice dark greens. So in here, I want some negative stuff. Negative painting. Like I say, note to do with being a miserable git. See that? Look at that. Can you see how they're standing out more already? Look. So what I'm doing, I'll explain in a minute. I'll just do that. Blending it in, just blending it in with my finger. What I'm doing, you see, I'm painting these bushes here, but I'm painting them by painting around them. That is what that calls negative painting. So that's why I'm going to call this video being negative. So it's going to be about negative painting and how much of a miserable git my stepdad is. Because he never stops moaning. You're playing your music too loud. You keep treading on all the lawn down on the garden. Stop using your skateboard next to the car. You're going to scratch the car again. Constant moaning. Negativity. We can all do without negativity. What I might do here, put a little dark bit in there, what will infiltrate the side of that arse. So it's just a little trick. There we are, look. Plop it in there like that. And then I think I'll bash the end of this brush up a bit, just onto my hand, and then just bash it across like that, look. So I get some darks in my thing. Bash it across, and then a bit more finger painting. There we are, and it just brings that art out a bit more. Now, what I might do now, wash this brush out, right, and then come in here, look, and lighten a bit on that tree, so that dark bit at roof stands out a bit on that. So it's just really a bit of clever trickery to get things to stand out a bit. There. So now if I dab that, that'll go a little bit lighter. There you are. And that'll make that arse stand out a little bit more. Just blend that around a bit better. Do a bit of finger painting in there. That's it. That's just made that little bit stand out a bit more. Now, what I could actually do, I could actually get this brush and come in. Right, my light's coming in this way, so I could actually start this side, look, and just dab in bits of Watercolour and get just little highlights down one side. See what this does. Dab a bit of Watercolour in, dab wet brush. See how it's just pulling that tiny little highlight out, look. Making it stand out like ickle tiny bit. There we are. Bit of an highlight in there. Bit there. Now, a few ickle highlights. Making them stand out even a tiny bit more than what they were doing anyway. Nice, another nice little trick what that can do. Yeah, see how they're standing out a bit better now? Just like that scratch what I put on Doofus's dad's car, and I fell into it with my push bike and he moaned and got all negative. It stands out. You see? That's what you want when you're doing a watercolour painting, but not so much when you're crashing into your stepdad's car. A little highlight in there. In fact, I think I might go in there, pop in a little low light. In fact, I'm just going to do it with this brush. Bash the end up a bit, just come in with a little low light in there like that. Get a bit more bushy shape in there, come across and just finger paint it back out again. Painting by fingers. Heard of painting by numbers? Painting by fingers. As you get older, you end up painting by focals. Hey, let's have a little bit in here and all of that darker. I reckon it'll look good. There, oh, that's nice as it is. I'll leave that. Right, so I think now it's brought them bushes out, made them look, and it could be better. They seem to have a little highlight down one side, look. So I can leave them. Right, I'll have a little sup of coffee and do one more little trick, a negative painting. Like I say, don't confuse it with being a miserable git. Painting is about enjoying that scene, not being miserable. Right. I always enjoy my sen. When I've done this painting, I'm going to go and I'm going to enjoy the company of my best friend and stepbrother, Doofus. There. Now if I pop a little blob there, and a little blob there, and a little blob there, and a little blob there, get more paint on, darker paint, and a little blob over there. This is just a coincidence that these blobs just happen to land there like that. Look at that, look. Isn't that a lucky coincidence? Because that blob just happening to land there is just happening to make them sheep stands out a bit better, innit? Now that is just a pure coincidence that has happened. See, these aren't shadows out. These are just pure coincidence. There we are, let's blend them in. And it just helps everything stand out a bit. And it's a clever little trick. So I'm mixing some brighter yellows in there to blend them in. It's just a clever little trick to get your sheeps to stand out that little bit. They're just happening to have the right dark colours just where you happen to want them. Just by pure coincidence. Oh, that one can come right round there. Oh. Look at that. I'm following my contours because my contours and the land are going like that, you see. Plenty of nice greens. Following my contours of the land. Oh, look at that. They just happen to be just running, just perfect. Pure coincidence to make my sheep stand out with a dark against light. Well, how lucky is that just happened to happen? Because it answered just happened to happen. I've done it on purpose, innit? But no one has to know that. It's their secret. There we are, blending it in, a lovely jubbly. Just a clever little trick there. And I think what I'm going to do, get my bigger brush so I'm not fiddling too much, and just come in, just blend around a little bit more. So there's some colours coming in there. Just sort of get them now going in there, make sure that they are going in right direction for my contours and my painting. I think they pretty much are. There we are. So there's lots of lights, lots of darks and stuff, and they all just happen to fall perfect for me picture there. You know what, I think I'm quite happy with that. And I think that a little bit of figgly piggly there, I think that's helped that picture. You know what, I'm just looking at this bit of green here, what's supposed to be a bit of grass slanting down. It doesn't look like it is a bit of grass, so what I'm going to do, turn it into a bush as well. Why not? There we are, it's another bush, look. Stick that in there, it'll look like a little bush there. Finger painting, there we are, it's an extra bush. Do I need any little twigs or out in? Don't think I really do. To be fair, could have some little low lights in some of these bits, I suppose. Just doing that like that, and then finger paint them in. Little bits in here. Finger paint them up that way and down that way. Some little tiny low lights. I've got the highlights, a few little low lights. That's. Let me just sit right back. I think I'm quite happy at that. I think that's looking alright. You know what I might do? Take the eye into the ass Alright, I might pop in door for a start, and then I might pop in a tiny bit of red. Let's have a little door there. Pop in a tiny bit bright red door. See if it makes it stand out a bit. No, I don't think it's really shown as red, but not to worry, that is sound. I'm happy at that. Right, I'll give that a little dab actually. There, that's better. There. Yeah, I think I'm quite happy at that. That's looking quite nice. So that's how you do a bit of negative painting. It's one of the more trickier things to do in watercolour, right? But it's well worth learning. Right, so we'll spend a bit of time, a bit of intellectual quality time with my stepbrother Doofus. That's what I'm going to go and do now. In it!